If you're interested in learning about a civil rights and education activist who founded the National Trade and Professional School for Women and Girls, lobbied for women's suffrage, campaigned against lynching, and worked to memorialize Frederick Douglass's home, then this is the Black History Short for you. Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Noir Histoire. I'm Natasha, and in this episode, I'll be sharing what I've learned about Nannie Helen Burroughs. Nannie Helen Burroughs was born in Orange, Virginia, to John and Jenny Burroughs. Sources offer conflicting details about Burroughs' parents in early life. Her mother was born a slave, and her father might have been as well, though some sources state that he had been born free. When Burroughs was around 4 years old, her mother relocated with her and her sister to Washington, D.C. Burroughs' father died when she was quite young, but it's unclear if this occurred before and prompted the move to D.C., or if her mother left her father and relocated to D.C., after which he died. Burroughs attended M Street High School, through which she met Mary Church Terrell and Anna Julia Cooper, both of whom would have a tremendous impact on her development. She was a good student and graduated with honors, but was unable to secure a teaching position at the city's public schools or with the federal government. Her race was the primary reason for her being turned down for positions in general, but it's also believed that her dark complexion may have led to her also being discriminated against by Washington's Black elite. She eventually found work in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the Christian Banner, the National Baptist Convention's paper. Burroughs returned to D.C. and received a high score in the city's civil service exam, but was still turned down for positions as a public school teacher. But the rejection did not discourage her. Instead, she worked various odd jobs to support herself while continuing to pursue her goal of teaching. She relocated to Louisville, Kentucky to accept a position with the Foreign Mission Board of the National Baptist Convention. While living in Louisville for a little over a decade, Burroughs worked as a bookkeeper and editorial secretary at the Foreign Mission Board. She gave a speech entitled, "How the Sisters Are Hindered from Helping," at the 1900 National Baptist Convention. The speech brought her national attention and led the organization to establish the Women's Convention to address the needs and concerns of its women. Burroughs would serve as the group's corresponding secretary for 48 years, and then the remainder of her life as president. Under her guidance, membership grew to over 1 million within just a few years. In addition to addressing the religious, political, and social needs of women, the Women's Convention also became a resource for educational training. The insights gained from the organization, in combination with her personal experiences, inspired Burroughs to pitch the idea of a school for girls. With the approval and support of the National Baptist Convention, Burroughs began working on making her vision for the school a reality. Instead of relying on donations from large and/or wealthy white benefactors, Burroughs primarily raised funds for the school through small donations from within the Black community, especially from Black women. The National Trade and Professional School for Women and Girls opened at 601 50th Street Northeast in Washington, D.C. Burroughs served as the school's first president, a position she would hold for the rest of her life. Under her guidance, Burroughs and the faculty developed a curriculum that focused on equipping students with vocational and professional skills that they could utilize to independently support themselves. The school was established at a time when many cities still had few schools that were open to teaching Black students, let alone females, at the high school or junior college level. And those schools that did accept Black students often limited coursework to vocational studies. Offering a wider range of courses, which included a classical education, was intended to provide students with more options for employment beyond domestic and laundry work. Although the school was founded by a religious organization, its curriculum was secular and welcomed students of all faiths. Burroughs was active with other organizations and endeavors besides her work with the National Baptist Convention, its subsidiaries, and the National Trade and Professional School for Women and Girls. She was an early member and some sources say a co-founder of the National Association of Colored Women, the NACW. Her heavy involvement with the Republican Party supported her fervent belief in women's suffrage as a potential tool to guard against racial and sex discrimination. She also campaigned against lynching, was an active member of the NAACP, and lobbied to memorialize Frederick Douglass's home. Nannie Helen Burroughs never married or had children. A few years after her passing, the school she founded was renamed in her honor and became a National Historic Landmark in 1991. Show notes and sources are available on the Noir Histoire website via the link in the episode description. I know that some of you who tune in have kids, and I'm working on creating downloadables and infographics for these episodes to make them easier to teach and discuss. So keep an eye on the website because that's going to be coming soon. These Black History Shorts are released every Tuesday at present. So if you enjoyed this episode and want more, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and check out my Black History Shorts playlist.